Hello, everyone. This is Suj Perepa from IBM. I'm a distinguished engineer, and I drive successful adoption of AI and machine learning technologies. I recently met Laura Kornhauser. She's one of the founders of Stratyfy through the IBM and MassChallenge program. MassChallenge promotes next generation of transformational businesses by mentoring the startups. Find out more about MassChallenge at masschallenge.org. Today, I'm meeting with Laura Kornhauser and Dmitry Lesnik, who are the founders, and talk to them about how they are spearheading the adoption of AI and machine learning technologies. I also want to explore their innovative approaches to implementing solutions in their product portfolio. What caught my attention was that both Laura and Dmitry are technology leaders. They're data science experts, and they're fully invested and closely involved in delivering transparent and trustworthy AI in their solutions and delivering business value. Let us find out more about their unique approaches of developing predictive models that are accurate and interpretable, models for fraud detection, reducing risk, and how they are mitigating bias. So, Laura and Dmitry, hello, and could you please introduce yourselves?
Well, thank you so much, Suj, for that lovely introduction and for taking the time to speak with us. It's been such a pleasure to get to know you through the great IBM MassChallenge program. So hello, everyone. I'm Laura Kornhauser. I'm one of the co-founders of Stratyfy and our CEO. My background is in financial services, in particular in risk management, where I spent over a decade at JP Morgan in a variety of risk management roles, helping both corporates and institutional customers build, structure, and deploy risk management strategies in the public and private markets. Honored to be joined by my co-founder, Dmitry Lesnik. Dmitry, over to you for your introduction.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Suj, thanks a lot for your introduction. I am co-founder and chief data scientist at Stratyfy. My background is in theoretical physics. I also spent over a decade in financial services. At Stratyfy, I am leading data science and conducting all necessary research to have our algorithms under the hood of our product up and running. Thank you.
Thank you. So Laura, back to you. Who is Stratyfy and what is unique about your product portfolio?
Wonderful. So we were founded as a company in 2017 with the mission at our core of helping financial institutions expand access to fairly priced financial products such that they could serve more customers, especially those that are underbanked and just under-resourced. When doing this is not an easy task to do, serving new customers safely and effectively. So fintechs and financial institutions face a great number of challenges when trying to do this and when trying to actually use machine learning to help facilitate this increased access or saying yes to more borrowers safely, for example. So it's very, I would say, wanted machine learning's abilities and the value it can deliver for financial use cases like credit risk or fraud detection where we're focused. But the black box problem or the lack of transparency inherent in so many machine learning solutions has really made it struggle to gain adoption with a lot of financial institutions, especially in heavily regulated use cases. It also drives cost, time, resources required to implement machine learning based solutions because, again, that lack of transparency and lack of accessibility can really create a lot of hurdles and burdens. And this is exactly what we're aimed at solving at with Stratyfy. Our differentiation is quite simply the level of transparency that our solutions provide and our unique machine learning approach provides. So going back to what you had said at the opening, Suj, this is how we make machine learning actually really deliver the business value that is promised is through greater access, through greater transparency, and true interpretability within that machine learning solution, which is our unique probabilistic rules engine that Dmitry will share more about later. And this transparency, this accessibility is also how we're able to do something that makes us really excited, which is detect bias AI and machine learning models, and importantly, root out the cause of that bias such that it can be mitigated. This is another thing that we see as truly unique and differentiated about what Stratyfy offers.
Awesome, very good. I really like the approach of going from the black box approaches to the glass box approaches. You know, it's all about transparency. And you also mentioned PRE, the probabilistic rules engine, and biasing, debiasing. I will come to PRE and debias in just a minute, but I want to know who are your key customers today, and you know, what are your start products before we go into the details of them.
Yeah, fantastic. So our customers today are mainly lenders, so both bank and fintech lenders, though we've also successfully piloted our technology in the insurance sector with partners like Aflac, and also in the healthcare sector. That said, we are focused currently on financial institutions, particularly lenders. Our two main products or solution offerings are credit risk assessment, so helping lenders say yes to more borrowers without increasing risk, and also in fraud detection, so helping financial institutions more accurately identify fraud sooner with less effort, and also reduce things like false positives, which tend to create a lot of issues with their customers. Nobody likes being accused of fraud when they're not a fraudster. So these are our two main solutions. So embedded in those solutions have always been our capabilities around bias detection and mitigation. We see bias as a KPI, a key performance indicator of any model, and this has always been embedded in our solutions. But given recent events and the focus on bias from both regulators, Washington, and the general public, we've decided to expand our product portfolio by pulling out our bias offering, something we call unbiased, and separating that as a solution that can be used across different use cases, regardless of what modeling approach an individual is using to both identify biases in data and models, root out that source or cause of bias, and then very importantly, mitigate that bias. So add on top a way to ensure that the biases of the past are not leading to further biases of the future. This is something that we see as so important right now as more and more machine learning or AI models are being used to make decisions that have an increasing level of importance on people's lives. The data that is being used to train these models is biased. If you do not have transparency, the white box or glass box that you talked about, Suj, and importantly, the ability to make changes in the model, which Dima will talk about in a little bit, then you will just propagate those biases going forward into your future decisions. With Stratyfy, we help our customers not do that and get ahead of this important issue proactively.
Very good. Good to know that you are really committed to the unbiased, and you know, congratulations on productizing it. So let's shift gears a little bit and go a little bit more deep into the PRE that has been mentioned multiple times, the probabilistic rules engine. And you know, Dmitry, how would you describe it, and what is unique about it?
Suj, absolutely. So let me tell you a few words about PRE. First of all, large part of our product and our offering is based on PRE and its properties. And that's why it's important to understand what it is. So PRE stands for probabilistic rules engine. This technology, which is proprietary to Stratyfy, it has been developed over the last more than 10 years, actually. As you probably can guess from its name, it's a combination of two worlds. It's based on rules engine combined with probabilities, and it takes the best from the two worlds. First of all, it's interpretable and intuitive as a rules engine can be, because the knowledge is explicit and you can see it and understand. On the other hand, it enjoys predictive power and automation available for statistical learning. So all machine learning black box approaches, which you may know, random forest and neural network, they are very powerful, yet they're black boxes, and PRE is able to achieve accuracy on par with those approaches. So based on these properties, PRE automatically offers a long list of advantages, and let me just name you a few. First and foremost, it's of course, there is no anymore trade-off between transparency and accuracy, because PRE automatically offers you both. You can understand and interpret models logic, how it makes decisions. You can even intervene and change this logic. You can make decisions whether model makes right decisions, and if it requires correction, then you can, as an expert, jump in and do so. Second, very important property of this modeling approach is that PRE does not require big data to do a good job. So in a world where we have unlimited amount of data, this is where deep learning algorithms shine. However, reality is sometimes is the opposite, and you face a situation when you have extremely small amount of data, especially when it comes to, for instance, lending. And we know that the world changes very rapidly, and big data is not that big. In fact, you cannot use data from 5 years back, because customers back then behaved completely differently in current situation. So PRE works extremely well in situation when the amount of data available for training is extremely small. Another feature which I want to emphasize is ability of PRE to keep human in the loop. So as I already mentioned before, knowledge is represented explicitly on the screen, and experts in the field can intervene. They can review the rules and decide whether these rules make sense. They can add their expert knowledge explicitly by adding their own expert rules. This all creates a completely different level of trust and accountability behind those algorithms, because now human can actually judge whether the model is doing right job, and if not, they have all the tools to actually correct models. I would also call it this way. In many situations, people can do not reactive but proactive work. So, for instance, in a use case of fraud detection, sometimes experts know in advance that some particular type of fraud is about to come, but they still don't have enough training data to train machine learning models. And with this approach, they can proactively correct their models to be good in the very short upcoming period of time.
Very good. Thank you, Dmitry. It sounds very, very useful and intriguing that, you know, the PRE approach that you have taken. You are definitely not going to have a trade-off with the accuracy. You are focusing on accuracy and interoperability, interpretability. And you also mentioned that, you know, there are many situations such as the fraud data where you have to take a small amount of data and come up with the predictiveness of it. And in those situations, your PRE is going to work very well and provide the accurate results on that. You also mentioned human in the loop. I think it's very critical for financial sector business processes where it is not just the data, but also the experts taking making a decision on what the data produces. So thank you very much.
Yeah, and Suj, we couldn't agree with you more on this. Data plus expert is the path forward, especially in financial services, to reach the right decision. Neither tells you all alone, and you need both working together in order to reach the right decision.
Very good. I can't agree more on that. So absolutely. So thank you for all the information about your product portfolio and the solutions and so on. I'm positive the audience and the vendors and the customers, etc., if they want to learn more about you, how can they contact you to have deeper discussions and also have demos of your products?
Wonderful. Well, thank you for asking that, Suj. We are, of course, very excited to connect with lenders, other financial institutions, and of course, also actively expanding our network of data providers and data partners as well. So please feel free to reach out. You can reach us at info@stratyfy.com, or feel free to go to our website, www.stratyfy.com, and request a demo on our website. We would really love to connect with you and dive deeper into a discussion if you are interested by what we've shared today.
Thank you both, and thank you. Look forward to further conversations on what you are doing with your product portfolio, and congratulations on your unbiased.
Thank you so much, Suj. It's been such a pleasure, and we look forward to future collaborations with you.
Suj, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.